What's going on YouTube, and welcome to another video. If you're new to the channel, I welcome you. Be sure to hit that subscribe button followed by the bell notification so you never miss an upload. And if you're watching this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know that you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. So Courtney Cox recently did an interview with Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore obviously played Casey Becker in the original Scream. She was the opening kill. And being sort of an alumni of Scream, she has done several interviews since the inception of the Drew Barrymore show. She did a little what if Casey survived, and it was like a little skit. And then she even interviewed Nev a couple months back, and there wasn't a lot really discussed. It was just more so the excitement for the film and sort of the direction. But most recently, she actually interviewed Courtney Cox, who plays Gale Weathers. And she gave us a little interesting insight, and I kind of wanted to take the time to discuss what she said exactly and give my ideas and compare it to what, information we have gathered over the last few months. So without further ado, let's get into exactly what Courtney said on the Drew Barrymore show. So, and I quote, "Scream, this is the fifth one. It's not Scream 5 though. This is Scream. These directors are incredible. They're making it absolutely. It's a new franchise. It's hip, it's scary, it's just a new Scream. It's not a reboot, it's not a remake, it's just a brand new launch. I think it's going to be fantastic." So, based on that information, it's kind of what I originally discussed in sort of my first Scream video, that it's the reason it's called Scream is because it is Scream. It is in a lot of ways going to be its own standalone compared to the other franchises. And I even did a discussion video that I'll link down in the description on how much influence the previous Scream films will have on this Scream. Because you had sort of, Scream 1 through 3, that was its own trilogy. And that was essentially supposed to be the end. And then we got Scream 4, which is just kind of a standalone, and it seems like that's going to be the case moving forward. I don't know how much outside of maybe Hicks, how much influence and, character build-wise will be in this upcoming Scream. There's a ton of speculation that Kirby may be back. I even covered that in a previous video where, she was spot in areas that Scream was being filmed. So, it started this whole speculation that, oh, maybe she's going to be returning. But this kind of, based on what Gale says, kind of almost verifies that we're probably not going to get any reoccurring characters from, Scream 4 other than maybe Hicks. And we do know that we are going to get Randy's sister. She's going to play a part depending on how big or small. I mean, that's yet to be seen. And then also, we're going to get, the cameraman from Scream 2. He teased us on a little post. I even did a video on that, so I won't go into too much depth into that, so you can check that out. But I just think overall, this is supposed to be, from what the director said, this is going to be the beginning of an entirely new trilogy. Now, it's going to be interesting to see, and this kind of, I feel, and I could be wrong, validates the fact that they're probably going to move away from the OGs. Whether that's, killing them off, writing them off, whatever. Judging on what Courtney said about this being its own sort of film, this isn't a reboot, this isn't a remake, this isn't, necessarily a direct sequel. This is sort of its own Scream film. That tells me that they're going to be using this to set up the new generation of characters, the new, generations to come. They're going to have, the final girl, or guy, or both in this film outside of, the OG3. So it really would not surprise me to see one, if not all of them, really killed off in this film. And I know a lot of people are on the fence either way. I get tons of people that say, if they do that. But Courtney just said this is its own thing. So you have to go into this understanding that. And I don't think they wanted to do a complete reboot or a complete, remake of Scream because of what it is. It's not necessarily, it's anybody could be the killer. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where you can just kind of continue the legacy. And I think they wanted to use points and story that was already concrete to kind of build on it. And I think that's what they'll do, because we know that we're going to have, Hicks's son. And there's tons of speculation. Could it be Billy's kid? Could it be Stu's kid? And that's where he ties in. And maybe there's tons of speculation right now. And we don't know which direction it's going to go. But we do know that Gale, Courtney Cox, according to her, that this is essentially its entire own independent thing that is supposed to start, most likely based on the success, is supposed to start an entirely new franchise of, trilogies or whatever. Their intention is to make a new trilogy. That's what was said. That's what was created. And even the directors said in an interview, I want to say 3 or 4 months ago, it might have even been back in 2019, but they just said that they wanted to stick to the premise of scary. What is scary, and they don't want to go too much into it. They don't want to make it too crazy. They want to continue Wes's legacy as far as film creation. A lot of people are taking what the directors said about Wes's legacy and implying that means that the OG cast has to live forever. That as long as they're doing Scream films, this OG cast has to be in. No, what their regards, and if you go and watch the entire interview and you listen to what they said that yes, that they wanted to keep his legacy going as far as filmmaking goes. That he was such a huge influence on what they perceive as scary. And they want to have those, bait and switches and those little Easter eggs and those little things that, you're on the edge of your seat and you're wondering like, oh, is the killer going to be around that corner? Is, the chase scene, have great chase scenes. I mean, even the supposed leaks from the gentleman that supposedly saw Scream 5 already, the rough cut, even he said that there were epic chase scenes, 2 in particular. Just that build-up, that like whole, oh, who's the killer? Oh, it's got to be him. And then 10 minutes later, you're like, no, it's got to be this person. No, it's got to be this person. And then you have the big reveal at the end. Whether that is, something that you can read or foresee, whatever. The point is that the new creators of this Scream franchise, they want to continue Wes's legacy in the regard of his filmmaking and the way he went about his franchises. They even mentioned Nightmare on Elm Street and things and other, what was it, People Under the Stairs or The Last House on the Left. Like, they mentioned these other films as their influence for creating horror films. It's not so much the legacy of Wes as, oh, well, that means they can't get rid of Sidney, they can't get rid of Gale. Like, no, it's its own thing. And what Gale said really, makes that more concrete. It makes everything that I've been saying since day one, whether the people agree with me or disagree with me, it makes it more concrete. It makes it what it is. And because I'm not reading too far into what is being said, I'm just simply taking what the filmmakers have said, what have the actors and actresses have said. And it looks more and more like this is going to be the start of something entirely new. It's going to have characters that we know and love, and they will be intertwined, but the ones that we know and love up to this point aren't going to be the main focus. They're not going to be the main reasoning. They're not going to be the main points. We have new characters that we want to establish, that we want to build. We have, the new final girl, the new Sydney, so to speak. And that's where we're going. That's the direction we're heading. Every time there's a new interview with somebody, that seems to be what is said. That this is its own thing. Forget the past. Forget everything. We will see how much influence the past actually has. But it is its own film. It is its own standalone Scream that is going to hopefully start, a new trilogy. So that's where we'll leave it there. as always, this is a discussion, and I do want to hear from you. So join the discussion down in the comments and give me your opinion. Whether you agree with me, disagree with me. I love the conversations that we have in the comments, especially regarding Scream, because I am a huge fan, and I do enjoy this franchise, and I do enjoy, providing this information, and I enjoy having the conversations, even the ones that, are like, no, I don't agree, or that, like, I love that conversation, like, let's have a civil discussion, because that's what this is all about. That's where the fun and enjoyment is with these horror films. It's all speculation right now. We'll see in, 8 months or whatever, what the final outcome is. I just personally think it is pointing more and more as we move forward and closer to the film that don't be surprised if the OG3s, is one, if not all, are gone when all is said and done. But if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Stay updated on all my Scream and other videos. And if you haven't already, please like this video. It helps me out a lot. I truly appreciate it. And as always, I will see you in the next one.